Back in 2020, me and Stephanie geared up for our first ever real road trip. Our destination was the diverse landscapes and national parks of Utah. With borders closed because of COVID and 2 of our out-of-country trips canceled, we decided to do some local travel. Today, we'll be looking at just one specific part of that trip, the food. While this is by no means a best of Utah food video, this is our experiences, the good and the bad, of almost everything we ate in Utah. Not gonna lie, there were a few occasions where I didn't record the food, probably because we just grabbed a burrito from a gas station. Enjoy all the food we mostly ate while road tripping through Utah. We'll start the experience off with some of the worst dinner I have consumed in my 29 years of life, not counting wartime because come on. We're in Bryce Canyon City, Utah, and after a long day of travel and hiking the Bryce Canyon, we check back into our room at the Best Western and hunt for some nearby food. We stop by Ruby's Inn Cowboys Buffet and Steak Room. We would have probably been good with a buffet or with steak as they don't have the worst reviews online, but no, I decided to order some kind of barbecue burger that I currently can't find on the menu, and probably for good reason. The burger would have been good if it was fresh, but it looked like somebody returned it and it was sitting in the back for 2 hours before I unluckily ordered it. The bun was cement, the meat was old and crusty, the pickles and onions looked like they were sunbathing on the freeway before being thrown on the plate. I was so tired and hungry that I still ate half of it and got some food from Steph. And when the waiter came, we said everything was good. Biggest lie of my freaking life. But sometimes you just don't want confrontation, and I was too tired for it. Steph had ordered a pasta and said it was just okay, so we ended our date with some snacks from the nearby store instead. Before we reached Utah, we first road tripped from Phoenix, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada, and through Nevada's Valley of Fire State Park. We did this on about 3 hours of sleep, so when we entered Utah, we were in need of food. It was breakfast time, so we stopped at the first roadside attraction we saw, the Black Bear Diner, which is a restaurant chain in the western United States and serves home-style and old-fashioned comfort foods. With some good old-school omelets and lots of coffee, we were fueled up and back on the road. One of our stops on the road trip was the famous and very popular Zion National Park. We got to Springdale and were very thirsty. This is where we felt the pandemic as most of the town was closed at that point. We finally found Mimi's Cafe, which was open and bustling with people. It also had delicious alcoholic beverages that sated our needs. With great reviews online and the food looking good in person, this would make a great stop if you're in the area. While in Springdale, Utah, we stayed at the Bumbleberry Inn, which offers a good and, best of all, free breakfast. That's included with your stay. Wake up in time for it. Also, an amazing dinner option in the area is Pizza and Noodle Company, which saved our life after hiking Zion all day. These were just the carbs we needed. We stayed at a Holiday Inn in Richfield, Utah while exploring the many attractions around this area. For breakfast, we stopped by the Frontier Village Steakhouse restaurant. Unfortunately, we didn't check out the steaks, but instead had an American-style village breakfast with bucket loads of gravy that was delicious. Speaking of the Holiday Inn, we stayed in an express that included free breakfast. Since we were traveling for a while, this was one way of saving a lot of money on the trip by booking hotels with free breakfast. Again, because of COVID, they didn't have a traditional breakfast setup, so instead you would go down to the lobby and pick up a packaged bag of goodies. While exploring Capitol Reef, we discovered a small coffee shop in Torrey, Utah. After meeting the owners, they tell us they sold everything they had in Salt Lake City and moved out here to open up a family coffee shop on the doorstep to the Capitol Reef National Park. Offering a selection of coffee, sweets, and amazing ice cream, you owe it to yourself to stop by. The mountains around Richfield, Utah hide an amazing lake, Fish Lake. A gorgeous getaway for many outdoor activities. We stopped here for a couple hours and set up a perfect lakeside picnic spot. We brought hot dogs, but we didn't plan everything to perfection because we totally forgot the condiments. The food was pretty bland because of it, but at least the view was amazing. You can't have everything in life. After about a week of road tripping through Utah, we make it to the capital, Salt Lake City. It's a deserted ghost town because of COVID, but we managed to find some great places for food and drink. We stayed in downtown at a small boutique hotel where we were able to walk and take the electric scooter to and from. Beerhive was a downtown pub with a big selection of delicious booze. Close by is some of the best food we actually ate on our trip, and that was at Whiskey Street Cocktails and Dining. The place seemed popular. We ate at the bar and had the amazing mushroom gnocchi, ahi tartini, and one of my favorite things in life, literally, the short rib grilled cheese. Eat here now. Right across the street from our hotel, the Pier, was Squatters Brewery. Opened in 1989, the original goal of Squatters was to provide world-class handcrafted beer and delicious food, something that I think they have maintained. It has raving reviews online, and we enjoyed a great lunch here before continuing our Utah adventures. Both me and Steph had a sandwich, and you can't go wrong with any from their robust menu. Tried the bourbon burger, and if you wake up thirsty, they do serve breakfast with a good morning beer. About an hour out of Salt Lake City is Big Cottonwood Canyon, a very popular hiking spot. This green mountain offers stunning trails with waterfalls, and after hiking one called Donut Falls, we got situated at a table to enjoy our grocery store sandwiches we had picked up earlier. This time we even brought condiments. Probably because we were so hungry from the hike and because it was absolutely gorgeous here, but that plastic wrap sandwich was some of the best I ever ate. Food really does taste different depending on your mood and the surroundings. While coming down the mountain, we make a short stop at the Silver Fork Lodge and Restaurant. We have a cold alcoholic beverage here with a tasty little soup, but they do offer a nice breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu. The lodge has rooms for rent and also offers a free breakfast if you stay here. My biggest takeaway from here though was discovering an amazing beer made right in Utah to Moab Brewery that we actually visit later on, so stay tuned. The Silver Fork Pilsner is a must try for any draft beer enthusiasts. Our anniversary was halfway through our Utah road trip, so we decided to splurge and stay in the bougie mountains of Utah, Park City. We stayed here one night at the beautiful St. Regis. We arrived in Park City in time for brunch though, so we stopped by the eating establishment, which has been open for 3 generations in the area. I had the Eggs Benedict, which was great, and Steph had a breakfast pasta dish called farfalle and egg scramble, and she loved it. Unfortunately, most of the restaurants at the St. Regis were closed due to COVID, but we were able to have dinner at the only working one at the time called RIME. There, we enjoyed a bottle of wine and a delicious steak with a view of the Green Mountains surrounding us. As we started the road trip back home to Phoenix, we stopped for a couple days in the adventurous Utah desert town of Moab. Not only does Moab offer tons of different activities with gorgeous national parks around it, but it also has delicious food offerings. One of these places was Pasta J's that offers some good old pizza and pasta. Steph is a pasta person, and my pepperoni and mushroom classic was delicious. Not a great pre-hike food though. Another amazing lunch spot in the area was Gloria's Corner Cafe. I devoured the steak sandwich, and it was so good I honestly don't even care about the rest of the menu, which is probably great on its own by the way, but you gotta try the steak sandwich. Moab was our last destination on the trip, but we did end it with a bang at the Moab Brewery. We heard about the brewery back in Salt Lake City. It offers amazing beer, and you should definitely check out the Silver Fork Pilsner. You can buy a can at the front door. I took a couple to go for dessert. The food is bar-based and delicious. Barbecue burger, fish tacos, and especially the fried calamari hit the spot. Have a few beers first, and the food will be even better. Utah was an amazing adventure, and while the grub wasn't crazy diverse or exotic, we had amazing American favorites, different styles, and mostly just great comfort food. While Utah was one adventure, the food was definitely another. Thanks for watching Destination Hamzik. We'll see you guys in the next adventure.